they fall asleep in the mundane, 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 waiting, 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 waiting for the bridegroom, waiting, 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 and they fall asleep. Midnight hour, a cry will be heard. In the midnight hour, in the deepest, darkest hour of history, in the midnight hour, for behold, the deep, deep darkness will cover the earth. In the midnight hour of history, it will be the darkest hour of history, history. Oh, deep, deep darkness will cover the earth. Like a dark, dark darkness that could even be heard, and a deep, deep darkness will cover the earth. But in the midnight hour, a cry will be heard, a cry, a cry, a cry. Behold, the bridegroom, go out to meet him. Behold, the bridegroom, go out to meet him. Behold, the bridegroom, go out to meet him. Behold, the bridegroom. Wake, awake, oh sleepers, awake, awake, the hour is urgent. Awake, awake, oh sleepers, and behold, in the middle of the night a cry will be heard. Oh, oh, oh. And the 10 virgins, they will awake from their slumber. They'll be scurrying around as the ministries. They'll be shining their lamps, going out to meet him, going out to meet him. It's the day, it's the day, it's the day that they've been waiting for, the day that they've been waiting for. The wedding is just around the corner now, just around the corner now, and they'll be running around, scurrying around, getting ready to go out. Finally, 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 finally. But in that day, says the Lord, the kingdom will be just like this. And in that day, 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 five will be wise, and five will be foolish. Wisdom and folly defined by the master. Wisdom and folly defined, 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 defined. For the foolish, so busy shining their lamps, forgot to get the oil. Oh, and the clock now is ticking. It's ticking, and the clock now is ticking. It's ticking, and it's the middle of the night, and the cry has been resounding. And now they're scurrying round, round, round. But the foolish are trying so hard to get their lamps lit, but they have no oil, so preoccupied, so preoccupied. forgot to get the oil on the inside of the lamp. For the oil comes from the inside out, and they forgot it. Now like empty, empty tombs, they forgot it. Now the five who were wise, they had oil. For even though they slept, their hearts were awake. They didn't get weighed down by the mundane or distracted by the lamps. They had the first things first, things first, things first. They had the oil from the inside out. And the five who were foolish will say to the five who are wise in that day, oh, help us, help us. Give us some of your reality. Give us some of your intimacy. Give us some of your oil and your lamp. But it doesn't work that way. It can't work that way. And the five who are wise will say to the foolish, go buy oil for yourself. You have to take the time to know him for yourself. They say, go buy oil. I counsel you, buy it now. Go buy oil. I cannot give it to you. You have to go buy oil for yourself. I cannot give you mine, for only what is real will burn inside, will burn inside in that day. And the five who are wise will go to meet the bridegroom in the feast of the wedding. Oh, but the five who are foolish will cry. So I tell you now, while there's still time, go buy oil before it's too late. I counsel you now. You have a lane that you're alive, but you're dead on the inside. So I warn you now. I counsel you buy gold refined in the fire. For you have a lamp that you're alive, but you're dead on the inside. But there's still time, just a little bit, only a little bit of time. What are you gonna do with that time, with that time, with that time, with that time? Time is ticking by, and the bridegroom is coming, he's coming, he's coming. Are you ready to meet him, to meet him, to meet him? Will you even recognize him? So I tell you now, go buy oil. I counsel you buy gold refined in the fire. Take the time to live from the inside out. Take the time to be acquainted with the Holy Spirit and the Word. Take the time to buy oil before it's too late. For wisdom will be justified. Wisdom will be justified.